American bison and the tallgrass prairie are symbols of the Great Plains and our great state. The two essentially need each other to survive.
But at one point, both were nearly wiped out. News on 6's Tess Monty and photojournalist Michael Blair are on the story to show us how a growing bison herd is bringing back Oklahoma's tallgrass prairie.
Life on the tallgrass prairie is usually pretty quiet, except for a few fast-paced weeks in the fall, when the sound of a bison stampede sings across Osage County, followed closely by revved-up diesel trucks.
We try to have a little fun because it's a long process.
Around here, the days start when it's still dark and end well after the sun goes down.
It can get pretty dicey sometimes.
Especially during the annual bison roundup, where ranch hands like Perry Collins corral the animals into pens for vaccinations, some taking it in stride, others fighting every step of the way.
Some of the big bulls, when they get in there, you can still hear the chute going when they're breathing, you know, and you're thinking,
But there's no time for fear, with hundreds of bison waiting for a workup.
Which tags does it get? Which shots does it get? Which pen does it go to?
Tallgrass Prairie Preserve Director Bob Hamilton says this process is vital to maintaining a healthy herd and also a healthy prairie.
We want to maintain habitat diversity and provide opportunities for all the different native plants and animals.
In order for the tallgrass ecosystem to work properly, Hamilton says it needs a certain climate, prescribed burns, and grazing bison.
The plains shaped them, and they shaped the plains in return.
Harvey Payne grew up on the prairie.
I just thought it was the prettiest country in the world.
He also served as the preserve director for close to 20 years.
It's pretty sad to see what happened to the wildlife that we had here.
He says at one point there were nearly 30 million bison in the United States. But by the late 1800s, bison were nearly eliminated, putting the prairie's existence in danger too.
The tallgrass as an ecosystem is the most threatened landform in the world, more so than tropical rainforest.
But at nearly 40,000 acres, the preserve here in Oklahoma is the largest piece of protected tallgrass prairie on Earth.
It is a very significant part of Oklahoma.
And Payne has been a driving force from the beginning in restoring these rolling hills to their original wonder. It all started with the donation of 300 bison 25 years ago, and they've been helping preserve the past here on the tallgrass prairie ever since.
It's a huge success story. It's really great to see the pieces of what was a big puzzle put back together.
Now, about 2,500 bison roam and graze freely here on the prairie.
They thrive here,
Quietly helping bring back a precious piece of Oklahoma.
and we rolled the clock back and recaptured something that came so close to being extinct forever.
On the scene, on the story, Tess Monty, News on 6.
So cool.
What an
isn't it?
interesting story and
Yeah.
beautiful video
Oh, yeah,
there of the
beautiful
landscape.
out there.